going to sleep on day 999 and waking up on day 1000 in my Minecraft survival world. That is indeed correct. 1000 days in this world. And I have accomplished a lot, but I really haven't shown any of it off. So today, I am going to show off all of the stuff that I can in my survival world and somehow fight the Wither. How will that go? I don't know, but I'm gonna try. So anyways, I need to find soul sand somewhere, which I can probably find in my storage system. This is a little bit important, but I should start from the beginning. No, I first created this world in 2021, just before the first Caves and Cliffs update. So this terrain that surrounds me is all pre 1.17, pre 1.18, pre 1.20, all of that. I created my world and I saw this hill right here. Now obviously it was just a grass hill and I did not, there wasn't a whole stone section on the side, but I saw it and I created a very basic house. That got me to about 100 days. I went mining and then I created this little, pond or area right here, which I think looks really nice. Don't worry about this area, I'll get to that in a second. You might notice that I am in a plains biome, surrounded entirely by deserts. That is the unfortunate part of my spawn, and unfortunately that also meant, since I was close to these villagers, they all perished pretty early on, and you can see I've, destroyed some of the houses for sandstone. There are a few other villages around here, like that one. All of the villagers are dead. So, for about 150 to 200 days, I had created this small part of my world. I had traveled to the Nether once or twice. I had about 20 diamonds to my name. My diamond pickaxe was breaking everything. It wasn't that good for me. So, naturally, I took a break for a year, which was kind of fun. But I got back to this world, and it got me to thinking, I need to do more. I don't want to be stuck in the early game with iron armor, barely any diamonds to my name. So I went down to my mines. So I got down to my mines and decided I'm going to get some build materials, because I'm really good at building. I'm not great at combat. I'm not good at redstone. Really nothing. But this entire area, I carved out. There was a bunch of granite and stone, and I made a granite castle with some terraforming that sat right here. And then, naturally, I took another year break. Because why not? So anyways, about a year and a half ago, I get back to my world around day 250 to 300. And I say I'm actually going to make progress this time, and I was at kind of a lower point in my life. And I said, I'm going to make some progress. And you know what I did? I sat down on Valentine's Day night, and I terraformed this entire side of the mountain. This mountain did not exist before I got here. This river did not exist before I was in this world. This entire thing was terraformed by me. And I did all of this in about 3 hours. And there was only this small little section right here that I saw it to do. And then I redid this terraforming across here. I already had this house right here. So, I had created this. I had created the other house. And then I decided I want an upgrade from whatever house was here originally. So what I did is I created this building, this library, and my storage section all was right here. And I moved it to here. This took about 50 days, but it is absolutely one of my favorite builds on this world. I used a glass technique to make it look like there's a very steep drop, even though there's not really. You know, it goes a little bit deep. But I created these mine shafts, I made everything look like that. I'm really proud of this build. I got all this storage, I got all of this, and then I turned around and I said, well, I think it's about time that I try and go kill the dragon. And I did. And it was fun. I had so much fun. And a big part of that were the villagers that I had accumulated. The villagers in question are down through this hatch to where my original mob farm was. Ignore all this. This is not finished. This was actually inspired off of Jedi Fallen Order, the Jedha section, and I have not come back to complete it. Anyways, I got a bunch of villagers, and they used to be all roaming around in here. They aren't anymore. I recently caged them up. Hello. I cured 2 zombie villagers because I had a zombie farm. And my very first guy I got was a mending villager. The second guy I got, if I can find him, where did he go? Would love it if you can show your face right now, dude. Why are you all the way over here? Anyways, this dude, my cleric, who was vital in me getting the ender pearls to go to the... No. I did all of this, I got all these builds done, and then I said, okay, I'm about set up for my current life. So I terraformed the bottom of this river. Like I said, this river did not exist originally. In fact, if I go around here, there was a giant hill, and I have not completed the terraforming around here. But this is also another one of my favorite builds. I just love terraforming, and I don't know why. And I had so much fun doing this. At the same time, I created this masonry shop because this is supposed to be a bunch of caves over here. I created a well because this is sort of the center of town for now. I created this church, which is pretty cool in my opinion. I really like it. I forgot I don't have windows right there. Need to fix that. And I may or may not have copied this specific build from Google. I am probably going to replace it in the future, but currently I like the way it looks in my base. I added this sort of area that goes over here, the campfire, the cow pen, because I needed leather at the time, I don't need it now. And then I created these horse stables. And all of this felt really cool to me. I really enjoyed doing all of this. Of course, none of the interiors are decorated, because why? Why would I do that? I came around, I deforested a lot of the forest that was over here. And I said, I've about had enough. So what then I did is I created an entirely new base. About 300 blocks that way. You can see a little bit of it right there. But why should I tell you when I can show you? And this is absolutely going to be multiple days long, and I know that for sure. So if you know me, you know I'm a fan of the Hermitcraft series. I was a huge fan last year, and that's what inspired me to come back to Minecraft. One of my favorite Minecraft YouTubers is Scar. And Scar was creating a zoo in his city. And what he did is he had a whole zombie section. I saw that. I said, that is insanely dope. I saw him creating this zombie town. And I said, I would kind of like to do that myself. And you know what I did? I did it. Now, it is nowhere near completion. This is going to be hundreds of days long. I don't even have the buildings all across the street done. But for what I've added, I've done a really good job, I think, in my opinion. I have this sort of flower shop right here. I have kind of like, I don't know, fast food place back there. I have my iron farm here. I have like an apartment building here. I'm really enjoying this build. These are 2 new buildings that I've added. This is supposed to feel a little bit like San Francisco. And most importantly, as of the past 200 days, I've been making a baseball field. Because why not? Why not? I feel like this town needs a little bit to feel like it was alive at some point. This town needs to feel like it used to be alive. So what I did is I started making the baseball diamond. And I said, well, if I make a baseball diamond, I just make it. And then I go back and corrupt it with like some moss and stuff. And then I add some buildings. And then I add some parking lots. And then I add some other stuff. That's going to be a really, really, really good build. So I've been doing that. And I haven't even updated the map in a while. Like, boom. This is just entirely different. I'm adding the stands, I'm adding a road behind so it feels like it connects to my main base. But this is genuinely one of my favorite projects. I love what I did with this flower shop right here. I think it went really well. I like what I did with the parking lot. I'm going to move my iron farm down a few blocks. And as you can see, may or may not have a bit of storage. Just a bit. A lot of this is from my fish bone farm, which I will be showing eventually. But this is basically my base right now. Until I move back to my original base. This is where I'm keeping everything. I'm really proud of what I've been able to do. I still have to expand out here and out there, but this is genuinely looking like it's going to be my favorite project ever. Anyways, enough yapping about that. Let's get to the fun stuff. Let's go to my nether. Now, if you can't tell, it's very sarcastic about the nether. I forgot to show something in the world, so I go back. But surprise, my nether sucks. That way it's not important. That's an ice biome where I went to go get ice. Over here, that's my main base at this portal. Over here is my mangrove swamp that I've just went to as of recently. So, let's go get her done. For warning, there's going to be a lot of lag. So, I've kind of decimated the mud right here, but that's not even all of it. Fishbone Farm by Silent Whisperer. I will link his tutorial in the description of the video in which I built this. It's quite laggy over here. And then the biggest part of this is I created this moss farm right here, which is Pretty nice. And, yeah, that's where I got a lot of my moss. I got a lot of mangrove, chests over there and stuff. One thing I did find out recently is that this, fish bone farm will, stop working. And, like, for some reason, Java players can get everything early. They can get crawling, they can get crouching, like through 1.5 blocks. They can get an easier wither. They can get everything that's pretty much good for the game. But Bedrock, no. We can't have arrows that float in the water. No. How could we? No. One feature that's good for us that's not a feature that, like, completely destroys your game, makes it unplayable, makes it unable to launch your world. No, we can't have that. We can't have that. It is what it is, but I just basically built all of this for nothing. I do get a lot of bones, but I can get more. Like, I'm thinking about just AFKing this in the future. Anyways, okay, so my closest nether fortress is about 1,000 blocks that way, through the nether, which is not very fun. But it is what it is. What I'm trying to remember where my mushroom biome is. Hey, that's my base. Right, I was never supposed to go back through this portal. Oh. Hey, there's where I got all my rooted dirt. I don't know where my mushroom biome is, but anyways, the only thing you should know about it is that it's about 1,000 blocks in length, which is insane. Like, that's pretty big. Like, I don't know what average looks like, because I'm definitely not average. Oh, and in case I ever show anything back here, wool farm. Wool. Do I have soul sand? Don't tell me I don't have soul sand. Okay, so I need to go get some soul sand. I have a bunch of diamonds now, some netherite stuff, you know the gist. Just a bunch of random stuff. I do need some rockets right now. Pretty poor in rockets, but it's whatever. A bunch of stuff that could be useful in the future. That's where my nether portal originally was, and I changed where it was. So the longest surviving house, or building, or anything in my world is this. I created this one of my first days in the world. There was one bed here, but I used that for the intro to this. So, I don't know if y'all can tell, but I do not like doing interiors. I'm not good at them, so I don't bother. God, I'm gonna have to find soul sand. But yeah. Also, another thing. If you can tell, I like Hermitcraft. You can also tell that this specific water, where the blocks are here, mud roots, packed mud bricks, oak, birch, sandstone, that up to the beach. That is also from Green and Impulse and Jim and whoever and Hermitcraft. And I absolutely adore it. I love it. It genuinely looks so good. It looks better when it's deeper, but I mean, like, even just like this, insanely good. One of the biggest parts that I've yet to mention is, typically desert biomes are pretty hilly. And that is because this, right here, was an entire mountain. And I have yet to show off how much sandstone I got from this. Literally all of these are full. I think the only chest that isn't full of sandstone is like along here or something. Yeah, here. Which is still filled with sand and other stuff. The rest of it is filled with sand. So my entire industrial district looks like this. Not a lot, but there's a little bit. I think I've delayed it long enough. I'm gonna look for more soul sand. And then I'm gonna go fight the weather and the ocean. On easy mode in Bedrock Edition, because if I don't fight it on easy mode, that's going to be hell. And I want a beacon.
I really thought I had soul sand, or soul soil somewhere. Do I really not?
That's so annoying. Oh, I do. So I'm gonna go to my end portal. If you can tell out here a little bit, it starts getting to where the chunks start cutting off because I did not explore here well enough before the update. Like, if you look, this desert temple right here is on two completely different levels. Which is kind of funny. There's a village out like here. And then if you look here, there's this just random what? Oh. Yeah, the chunk loading starts getting a little weird out here. Anyways, I get a bunch of my terracotta from here. Funny story about that rabbit video. I just came up with it while I was right here mining out terracotta, and I was like, that's pretty funny. Why not do it? I did it. Just got more views, but it was fun. When I was going through a huge coal shortage, I came out here and ransacked this village for coal. Or ransacked this town for coal adjacent things. Coal adjacent things? What am I talking about? Anyways, I mean that I took all the coal from here. I've not done too much on this world, which is unfortunate because I spent a lot of the time exploring originally. I'm not going to show all that I explored because it's not really too important, nor is it too much fun. So this is my end portal. I don't know if I'll need a milk bucket because I will try and stay out of the way. If you look here, these fireworks are pretty OP. Yeah, I'm going to be using that for the second phase because apparently, you know, healing works well against undead mobs. The Wither is an undead mob. And also, you can't use bows in the second phase. But you can use fireworks with crossbows. And if you have multi-shot and you have the strongest fireworks in the game, that's pretty good. Before I forget, let's go to settings. Easy. I did originally plan to have some iron golems, but actually, why not? Hold on. I'm really about to do this. So I am not super worried about it, but I also haven't fought the Wither on Bedrock Edition in a while, and yeah, it's never fun. I'm hoping the Wither will aggro the iron golems while I sit back and shoot them with their arrows. Hit like and subscribe. Bedrock Wither is very difficult to fight, and if I die, it's not a hardcore world, so I can still come back. But it won't be fun. I'll have to swim all the way back. Stuff's all the way over there. I don't want to do all that. So, wish me luck. Oh, I need to also do that. No, guys, fight him! Oh my god. The arrows are actually doing really good. Oh my god. I've used 9 already. What is it doing? Come on. Come on, get to your second phase already. There we go. Now is where the fun begins. Where'd it go? Oh my god. Oh god. Are you joking me? Okay. Alright. That's not working. We're fine. No. Uh-oh. 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 Oh no. I don't like that he's doing that. He can take chunks out of water? That can happen? Come on, come on, come on! Do it! Oh god. Get away, get away, get away! Let's go! Well, I really overprepared, didn't I? So here are my villagers. I think I need like 3 blocks of iron or something, or 3 stacks of blocks of iron or something like that. And with a click of the button here, I now have a max beacon. But if we look here, haste 2. I have a maxed out beacon in my survival world. I am going to college soon. So unfortunately that does mean that a lot of the progress that you've seen will be halted because of my inability to not be locked in. I will have to be locked in for college, which is a given. I don't know what the next 1,000 days will do, but whatever it is, I know I'm going to crush whatever it is. I know I'm going to expand the city this way. I'm going to make a hospital around here that has a super creepy feeling. I'll make some more fast food restaurants and apartments along here. I already have plans for what's going behind the baseball field. Finish the baseball field. Add a bunch of houses along here. Fix the houses over here. Make there an end to the city over here. Maybe loop it back around over there. I don't know. But this has turned from a project that will take months, or a month or 2, to something that will take a long time. And I don't hate that. I love when Minecraft projects are big and they require me to do something all the time. Because I can have times where I'm not locked in. The past 20 days I've been preparing for the Wither. But more importantly, I like being able to revisit my world every few months. Say, I know what I was doing, but I have some way different to do that. And that is the beauty of this game. is you never know what you're going to do next. You never know if you're going to get offline for 3 months. You never know if you're going to take a break from the world for a year and think you'll never come back. And then you come back in a year and you have a different plan of what you want to do. It doesn't matter. You can still find creativity. You can still find something else to do. If I want to take a break from combat right now, I can go mine diamonds. I can go to a creative world and I can go do other stuff. I can, buy PlayStation Plus and play against a bunch of kids and absolutely wipe the floor with them in PvP. I'm not good at PvP, but it's not hard to be better than everyone else on Bedrock. That's the beauty of Minecraft. And in the next 1,000 days, I will for sure make a bigger impact on my world than I did for the first 1,000. I don't know if it'll take me 4 years. Might take me 6, might take me 8, might take me 10 years. I might never get to 2,000 days. But I do know one thing. If this is the last time I play the game, I am damn proud of what I've done. Anyways, that's all I have. Have a great day. And I will upload a video as soon as I can. Trust me, it's in the works. Goodbye.